Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into something kind of different. We're talking Notion.
Notion. Yeah.
It's everywhere these days, right?
Right.
Like, it started as this note-taking app, but it's
Mhm.
become, well, kind of big deal. We're going deep on an article that breaks down their whole community-led growth thing, and honestly, it's fascinating.
Yeah, it really is.
Like, how do you bottle up that fan energy, that enthusiasm, and actually turn it into growth?
Right. And the article points out they didn't have to create this community from scratch. It kind of started itself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm.
Early adopters were already on Twitter, on Reddit, just like geeking out over Notion.
So no big marketing scheme, just like genuine excitement.
Exactly. Sharing tips, solving problems, even making their own templates all on their own. And here's the thing Notion's founders, they noticed. They saw this energy and realized, hey, this is huge.
Okay, so recognizing those early adopters, but what do they do about it?
Think about Ben Lang, right? Notion's had a community. He was actually in those early communities, even ran a fan site, I think. Whoa, no way. Talk about already speaking the language.
Exactly. They brought someone in who got it, who understood the community.
Instead of some corporate type trying to figure it out, right?
Totally. And at first, it was mostly about awareness, getting the Notion name out there. But then, as the article says, they saw these weren't just fans, they were, well, a gold mine.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you go from people being aware of Notion to actually using it, loving it?
And that's where it gets really interesting.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's the secret sauce?
Templates. Remember those early adopters making their own?
Yeah.
Well, that just exploded. The article talks about how these user-generated templates became the thing. People even selling your creations. Can you believe that?
So it's not even just, here's Notion, use it. It's, here's Notion, build on it, make it yours.
And people love that. Notion tapped into something that humans needs to customize, to be part of a community.
And it's clearly working.
It really is.
I mean, these templates are awesome, proof that Notion gets it. But how do they measure all this, community success, like Circle and all? But
Yeah, you got to make money, right? The article gets into that, the actual metrics Notion uses, and it's not just vanity stuff. Their big thing, new signups, directly from community channels.
So it's about growth, but very targeted growth.
Totally. They even track each platform separately, according to the article. Twitter, Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn. They're watching everything.
Makes sense, right? What works on Twitter might bomb on LinkedIn. Different vibes.
100%. Like on Twitter, the article said they're all about retweeting users, showing that social proof.
So it's not just Notion talking, it's Notion amplifying their voices. That's smart.
Right. Then on LinkedIn, they switch it up. More professional, so they share those customer success stories, how teams use Notion.
Demonstrating value. Don't just tell me you're good, show me how good.
Nailed it. And the numbers are crazy. Over 216,000 on Twitter, I think they said. Then 138,000 on Insta. And LinkedIn's huge, too, like 108,000.
Wow, okay, they're doing something right. But it's not just about numbers, right? It's about connection. The article mentioned these ambassador and champion communities. What are those about?
Right, so ambassadors are like the external hype squad. People with influence outside Notion, like
Yeah.
running that giant subreddit they have, 164,000 people or
It's
something.
their own subreddit? That's wild.
I know, right? And Notion gets it. They give these ambassadors early access, support, even swag, all that.
So more than just a thank you, it's like, you're one of us.
Exactly. Champions, though, they're different. They're inside companies already using Notion, and they push for it to be used more,
So ambassadors spread the word out there, champions spread the word in their own workplaces. That's smart, hitting it from both sides.
Exactly. And the article said when they first launched that ambassador thing, they got like 600 applications in 1 week.
People are that into Notion, to be a part of it, not just use it.
It's kind of like they built a movement, not just a product. Which, speaking of, let's get into influencers for a sec.
Influencers, right. Can't really escape them these days.
True.
Yeah.
True. But Notion's approach is kind of different. Like, they're not just going for those big paid campaigns you see everywhere.
Oh, so less about throwing money at it.
Way more strategic. The article talked about how they look for creators who actually love Notion already.
So they're already fans using it in their own work and then talking about it.
Yep. And that comes across as genuine,
Definitely. People can sniff out a fake endorsement a mile away.
For sure. And it works. The article gave this example, this YouTuber, Michelle Kanemitsu. Her Notion tutorial, totally organic, Over 1.85 million views.
No way.
Yeah.
Most companies would kill for those numbers.
Right. It's about that realness. Like a friend recommending something, not just an ad.
Spot on.
And they take it even further. Notion wants influencers who are followed by other influencers.
Oh, so it's like a influence squared,
Yeah.
hitting those niche communities where people really listen to each other.
Exactly. But here's the thing. Even with all this success, Notion's open about their learning curve. The article wrapped up with some lessons they'd share.
Always love those. Even the best mess ups sometimes, right?
Totally. One big one was, like, set your community purpose early on. Have those ground rules.
So everyone's on the same page, knows what to expect right from the start.
Yep. They also said they wish they'd hired a social media manager sooner.
It's a lot to handle all those platforms, especially as you're growing.
For sure. And going global, thinking internationally from the get-go. Notion wishes they'd done more of that early on.
Yeah, gotta think big.
Right. And lastly, just adapting. What works today might not tomorrow. Gotta stay flexible.
So this has been amazing, right? Notion's basically shown us how to turn fans into like a super-powered street team.
Totally. It's more than just marketing. It's about real connection, giving your users a voice, and building something together.
And honestly, that's inspiring, even if you're not like a tech company. Building a community, that's powerful stuff.
Absolutely. So what resonated with you all? How could you use these ideas? Let us know. And until next time, happy building.